So that was Ramble On by Led Zeppelin, and I just always found it to be like the perfect bass line. Whenever the song comes on, I just get super excited and I just like feel it inside. I feel like this bass line has always resonated with me big time. It's the perfect combination of melodic and rhythmic, and on the verse you've got this beautiful melodic whimsical bass line. That's just so sweet, and it's going underneath the vocals, so the bass has like a really prominent part in this verse here. And then comes as it comes into the chorus and John Bonham kicks in, and you've got this great rhythmic part with these really driving eighth notes. And when that this part, when it matches with the kick drum, it's just like really gives it like this push, and this rhythm section, like the push and pull of everything happening, just really makes for a really special music, I think. And I love how John Paul Jones makes use of like the whole neck. He has really creative bass lines and really explores the instrument and gives it a really beautiful voice. This song in particular was always one of my favorites. And interestingly, I was lucky enough to grow up with some of the people that made these records, specifically Andy Johns, who engineered this record. He engineered the record Led Zeppelin 2 that this song was on. And my dad, who was also a bass player, was best friends with Andy. We'd go over to the Johns household, and Andy had what he called the study, which was like a studio hangout space. He had like stacks of JBL speakers and a record player, and he would put on and tell stories about all these records that he had worked on. And of course, Led Zeppelin being one of those bands. There was just loud Led Zeppelin blasting through speakers through, I feel like, my entire childhood hanging out. So even before I started playing bass, Led Zeppelin, these songs were already, this music was already seeping in to my blood and my bones, and just always felt natural for me to not only listen to this stuff, but to play these lines, and they've always resonated with me so much. So thank you to everyone who's made these records, who was part of these records, and to John Paul Jones for being one of my favorite bass players.